All right, guys, welcome back. It's Wednesday, 11 a.m., and we have a couple of questions to answer this week. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Hi everyone. The big news is out. You finished your book. Congrats, first of all. And we all want to know what's in it, when is it available, and what was your why behind the book?
Okay, so first things first. The title of the book is How to Stop Exercising and Start Solving Problems in My Gym or in Your Gym. So, my basic thought was how can we work on stuff that comes before exercises? So my biggest problem was always I saw two main issues. The first one was handing out exercise to make glutes stronger or hamstrings stronger, and nothing happened. And the second one was we didn't find a proper solution what the basics for training were. So that's why the title is How to Stop Exercising and Start Solving Problems, because I see my gym not as an exercise provider, but as a solving problem provider, which makes super sense for a lot of business areas. Like if you go, for example, if you go to the butcher, you have a problem. The problem is super simple. You're lacking meat. That's why you're going to the butcher. You're not expecting to get coffee there, right? Okay, so the problem is you're lacking meat, and the solution is you go to the butcher. That doesn't work at all in fitness because you usually sign up for a gym because you want to get healthier, sweat a little bit. You heard in the news that you have to use something for you. So you're not even thinking about that problems are going to be solved in your gym. What is a problem? Problem ranged from losing a little bit of weight to no more knee pain to 300 kilo back squatting, and all of it has a certain approach to it, how to solve those problems, and that's what I'm covering in the book.
Okay, and when can we expect the book to really be printed?
Well, the cool thing is, I don't know, but I'm shooting for before Christmas, which is a bit of a challenge because it's not in my power anymore because my job is done. I took a year writing it, and now it's in the editing and producing hands. But I'm in good faith that it will be done until Christmas. We
And
shall see.
where will it be online as well?
Yes, so we're going to bring it on Amazon and different distribution platforms. But obviously, there's going to be a printed version because not only old, but also old school. So I like books. I like touching them. I like writing in them. I like ripping pages out of them if they don't make any sense. Whatever. So there's going to be a haptic version and, of course, an online PDF electronic version as well.
Okay, and we're definitely going to put it on school as well. So for anyone who hasn't registered yet, that's the place to be.
Yeah. So I mean, the what's in the book? Like I would ask what's in the book. And maybe you were about to ask it too. Um, Actually, it's really simple. I started writing the book. I had like a couple of hundred pages in, and then I stopped. I took a step back, and I was like, okay, this is too complicated. So what I did, I broke it down to basically the my base of training is learning two skills only, and answering six questions. So the two skills that we have to learn, from my point of view, is the skill of position and the skill of tension. The skill of position is super simple. Skill of position means where should your bones be? That stuff you can see, right? You can see like hips moving, you can see shoulders popping out. Like whenever something is good or bad happening, you always see bones moving somewhere. I know, very unscientific, but that's just the way I am. That's the first skill that we have to learn, but also we have to learn the skill of tension. That has to do with obviously muscles. And in my world, we need position with tension because muscles move bones. I know that sounds so simple, but I just have not seen this approach in the last, well, 12, 15 years. Um, and that's why I want to change it. because now it's all about positioning and where shoulders need to be centered. But I think there's some stuff that's moving bones, and surprise, surprise, I guess those are muscles, and that's why I'm tackling that. And the six questions are super simple. So there's two questions about positioning and three questions about muscles. Um, which big bones shall move? So that means which big bone structures are actually supposed to move. The second one is where shall we move those big bones? Good question. That's the skill of position. And the skill of tension is which big muscles shall move those big bones? I know, very scientific. The fourth question is how to get big access to those big muscles, because knowing which muscle moves something is one thing, but how can I actually gain access to that muscle? The fifth question is what are the big jobs of those big muscles? This is gonna shatter a lot of textbooks out there, because I truly think and I know from practice that one muscle can have three different jobs. And it's not as simple as the hamstring flexes the knee or flexes the hips. That's textbook anatomy stuff. I'm in the training world. So I'm interested in what is the job of a hamstring in a deadlift. Is there a different job? Yes, there is, doing a squat for the hamstring. And is there even a third different job for the hamstring while you do a sandbag carry? Um, that's a fascinating topic. The short answer is yes. Your Each of your big muscles has to be capable of doing three different jobs. If not, problems will occur. Whether that's knee pain, whether that's displacement of bones, whether that's you plateauing, there's something happening. And Ups, hat irgendwie angerufen.
Alles gut. Ähm, magst du einfach weitermachen oder?
Mhm. Yep. All right, and I think that the not being able to access the big muscles, plus understanding what three jobs of one big muscles actually look like in terms of position and tension, is leading to a lot of problems, and that's the problems that I want to solve. And I offer always practical solutions and not theoretical physicist approaches here. And the last and sixth question is um, how to start using the big muscles. That goes into exercises and equipment. What I think is the best way to start training people. Again, this book is for every gym owner and every coach who regularly sees my beloved normal people, like the 99% of people out there who train like twice or three times a week, no pro athletes, no like super genetically favorite person. This is like your normal people that we as small gym owners see every single day. So that's the whole book is totally geared in that direction. The exercise and equipment part is actually really fun because all of it is from my personal experience, from my own training with my coaches. And obviously, we're testing all that stuff in the gym. So we have a pretty huge database of why the stuff is working. Um, but the book is about two skills of position, skill of tension, six questions, and hopefully for you, there's sufficient answers in them. I put a lot of work in there because I honestly, I would have loved to have something like this when I started coaching and owning a gym and doing all the group class style like 12, 13 years ago. And I didn't have it. And that's why I did a lot of mistakes, obviously. And I want to provide it to you guys out there. And yeah, I would have really loved to have that book 12, 13 years ago. So that's why I did it.
Amazing. Yeah. So I I'm like pretty speechless, just waiting for the book to finally drop. And yeah.
All right, guys. So if there's any questions about the book, I'm gonna post some sneak peeks throughout the next couple of weeks. Um, you'll notice at some point that the book is ready, downloadable, whatever, available on Amazon, printed. Um, I'd love to get your feedback on it. So because these are my thoughts and my experiences from the last 12 years. Um, but that only works if you make it work. So there's so much practical stuff in there. There's templates in there. There's exercise in there. There's stuff you can literally try once you read the book. You don't need any equipment for it. Give it a try. And I wanna finish today's call with a nice little story about change of perspectives. Because I think nowadays we have a very hard and rigid view on what's right and wrong, right? And I do have that too, obviously. But sometimes it's worth taking a step to the side and maybe changing the perspective of what should be done in training, or maybe there's a different approach on how to do it. The story goes, it's a fun story. It's from Rory Sutherland, awesome creative guy from England, and he's telling a story about him not being able to smoke anymore at parties because smoking was prohibited in whatever public areas or parties in the UK. I know, weird place, whatever. So he had a hard time because once he was fed up with talking to people, he always could sneak away and just go for a cigarette and look like really cool. And he said he couldn't do this anymore because smoking was prohibited. And he had an awesome comparison about change of perspective because he said, now I'm staring out of the window on my own and I'm looking like a like a lunatic and an antisocial asshole because I'm just standing and staring out of the window. If I could just have a cigarette in my hands, I would be seen as a fucking philosopher. And that's my approach with the book is maybe there's something in there where you can change your perspective on how to coach stuff, how muscles work, how positions work, and why we need to fuse them together to basically super simple help your people faster. That's all I care about. I don't care about methodologies. I don't care about barbell or a sandbag. I don't care about any of that stuff. For me, the only thing I want to move forward is how can we help normal people faster, reaching whatever their goal is without our methodology driven brain is like, you have to start squatting with the barbell, or a sandbag is great for pulling. By the way, both things are not true. And I love to show that in the book. Bring on the questions and we'll talk next week. Bye.